I think probably the biggest difference, you are correct. Alinghi, well, we do maneuver quite well, but I think Alinghi also maneuvers quite well. They seem to turn quite easily, accelerate quickly. So I think both boats are going to maneuver pretty well and pretty similar. One of the biggest differences is our wing. It's quite efficient and low in drag. So we're going to be able to hold a higher lane angle, so to speak, wind angle, and we should be able to luff and luff longer than them because they have a lot more drag from their soft sails.
Matteo, maybe we do a follow-up. Thanks, JK. Jorge was asking the difference in crew number. We answered that question. Maybe, Matteo, you can answer this. Is it significant to us that they were sailing yesterday, or remember, we weren't racing. This was cruising around with any number of people, but they had 14 on board, and I guess maybe this was the race crew. Is that, Jane, did we submit a list yesterday? Both teams submit lists yesterday? 14 on their list and 10, okay, 14 on their list, 10 on ours. And I think Jorge was asking, what's the significance of that? Is that an advantage that we're sailing with fewer people, or a disadvantage? Okay.
Well, 10 people is the number that we had yesterday in our list, but maybe we could have sailed even with more people if we had more wind. We have a minimum number of people that we want to sail depending on mainly on the light wind, and if the wind increase, probably we can increase that. Is an advantage or not if they are sailing 14? It probably means that they need 14 people to manage the boat and to maneuver around the around the course.
Do you think they would sail with fewer people if they could manage the boat?
Well, they are using water ballast, and so I think they are just trying to optimize the number of people as low as possible as well, and we do the same.
I'm Michele Tignozzi from Faravela.net. A question for James. How difficult is to sail, how dangerous to sail your boat in the choppy seas, in the waves? Maybe tomorrow morning, this night, will be some northwesterly waves I saw. How dangerous, not dangerous, how difficult, how dangerous is to sail? The real limit of 1 meter is concrete, or you may sail 2 meters, 1.5 meters waves?
Well, I think to be honest, it doesn't really matter what boat you're in. It's we've sailed our boat in in some heavy seas in San Diego. We've sailed here in some rough stuff, and we've comfortably put it around 20 to 25 knots of wind. With a decent seaway going. And I think, like any boat, as you start getting up towards the higher end, call it the high 20s or 30 knots, then it really becomes the seamanship comes into play, and that's part of the challenge, is getting your boat, being able to handle those conditions. And I think it's an important part of any sailboat race, is the ability to understand when that's happening, and the ability to know when to really, how hard to push. And that's part of the excitement in sailing these boats, is that, in the lighter stuff, it's, anyone can really sail them, but it's when you start getting really overpowered and really, you're sailing at that wind angle of around 100 to 110 true wind angle, and it's not apparent which way to go to unload the boat. And that's, that's when the boats are exciting to sail, but also probably the hardest to sail.
Matteo, you're watching the instrumentation, the alarms. What about the structure? Ask in Italian.
Sì, I carichi con onda sulla struttura, tu che li monitorizzi, traduci in inglese poi per tutto.
The question in English.
So the question was how the structure is stressed, and the answer is that for sure the sea waves, the waves are affecting a lot the dynamic loads on the boat, and the multi-hull is for sure much higher load than even an America's cab boat. So what we have to do in a day like probably will be tomorrow is just to acknowledge which are the limit that we want to push, and push as much as we just sail inside those limits.
So it's predicted to be lumpy from the northeast tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
With a dying northwesterly, something like that. That's what the public forecast is anyway.
James?
Yeah, thanks. James with the Daily Tell, a question to James. You stand helming a precarious little platform on the back of the back beam. You've got self-netting in front of you, and you have to go from side to side. Can you just describe how you stay on the boat and how sort of dangerous it is and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's it's just a short gap really, netting, and during the attack, JK grabs the other wheel or a jibe. But these boats, it's no different to a normal campaign that you're just trying to save windage and you're trying to save weight, and that's really well we've done it. We've taken away. Sorry about this.
Richard?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Did I answer that?
Hi, Donald.
Yes.
Martin